Excuse me. Hey everyone, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Getting my coffee. I have my hoodie on today because it's freaking cold in my house. I think it's not as hot outside, but the AC is cranking high, so it got a little chilly. I want to say hello, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for joining me today. We're going to be restoring a Gyver unit. No, I'm sorry. I stand corrected. A Gyver control medal, basically. It's a I might record some of this. I think I'm just going to record this and make it into a video. Really quickly, for all you people joining me today. And if you guys are watching this on Twitch, thank you so much for following me and keeping me going there on Twitch. If you have anything you want to pop in chat, I have my chat open on YouTube only. It's always difficult to kind of juggle between Twitch, so I have my friend Going Eat Costume who moderates the Twitch account, so people have questions. She is kind enough to usually direct them over here on YouTube. But today, back in 1989, I moved out here to California. Hey Ted, did you get my link? Wait, did you get my link on Instagram? I'm sorry, did you send me something? Hold on, I got a lot of pages open on my phone. Hold on guys, let me, my Instagram. Did you send me a message on Instagram? Hold on. I'm sorry, Gundam. I have no idea what you're talking about. Somebody's building an alien. Oh, someone's building an alien motion tracker. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I have mine too. I just haven't started. The one thing is I have graphics for the screen, but there's all those graphics on the thing itself. So I got to get those too. I think somebody sent me some things. I got to get them printed on color. You know what I don't have is a colored printer. It's crazy. I don't have a colored printer. I think it was greeting. I made a new silicone mold myself, and it's pretty small of myself. It's pretty small. Doesn't matter. You made a silicone mold. That's awesome. Really quickly, guys. Let's is the control medal. So I'm telling you what. I'm going to do a little bit of a better intro. I'm going to record this and cut this down. I think it'd be good to have this be a short little video. Take all this and just kind of whittle it down. Really quickly, you guys who came last week when I was painting those helmets, I want to show you what they look like when they're done. Ta-da! There they are. This is the helmet I have my pattern. A couple things I still haven't done yet. I have some like a little. I put the metal venting in where the mouth is. I have. There's a little bit of mesh I want to put in the ears. I haven't done yet. The also this ring here on the ear. I want this to be gold. I'm going to do that with a brush. These are, of course, cast pieces from my Evil Ted molds right here. These two pieces. And I found some graphics I bought off of Etsy, little vinyl stickers to stick on the helmet. But yeah, I got two of them, and they have foam padding. I found with this helmet, it's good to put a foam pad in the neck, and I have two pads by the ears, and it slips on because it's kind of it has to sit on top of the head pretty flush to go. And of course, these things are. But I'm making these for possible rental. I want to start making some rental things. I have a lot of friends. They make a lot of independent films, and so I'm starting to collect and build. I want to build a library of things to have in my shop where people go, hey, do you have something or something like this? I can say yes. Yeah, and these are like those Halloween faceless mask things I get. But yeah, they turned out great, and I just got there's a couple more little enhance of gold. Hey, the modifier. Good morning, my friend. How you doing? Welcome, welcome. Hey, I want to show the modifier while he's here. Look how big it is. Isn't this awesome? Ooh, big alien egg. Right? It's huge. We're the modifier and I. Hold on. That gives me the creeps. Good. It's supposed to. While making this alien egg, it's just strictly a prop. I just wanted to have a prop as an egg sitting around, which is cool. But I realized that as I was making it, people are going to say, hey, what I would like to, how would I go about making mine open? And I realized I just could hear the emails coming. So I talked to the modifier, and he's like, yes, we worked up a plan. So in this video, I'm going to make one closed and have one opened. So if you want to make a prop or do something like, you'd have one that's open. So I'll show you how to go about doing that too. And I thought, so since I'm shooting that video now, we should make the video of me making one opened. So that's why it's going to slow down a little bit. And also, I got a job. Again, I want to tell everybody, thank you so much for your patience, everybody, because I got a job. Again, nothing big. It's going to be like about a solid week of work, which is nice. I'm doing something for There You Have It, the great company that hired me for that. For the Sonic commercial, when I made that pickle costume. It's something very similar. They called me up and said, are you available? I said yes, and so I took this job. So I'll be doing it next week, and then once that's done, I'll get back to this video. And also, my feral ghoul. Really quickly, everybody, if anybody's new here, welcome to my channel. Please, if you have not done it already, do not forget to like and subscribe. Hey, sweetheart. Oh, she's go outside. It's my wife. Like and subscribe. I went out today and I put water and food up for the birds, and there wasn't a bird or bird sounds or anything. It was like dead quiet. I was like, when you step outside and you're used to hearing animals and you don't hear anything, it's a little unnerving. Hey, sweetheart.
Yes, sir.
Do you notice how there's no birds and no sounds at all while outside?
There's no birds for sure.
Babe, not chirping, not sounds, anything. No.
The eagles back?
No, no ravens, anything. Everything's quiet.
Weird.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's maybe earthquake weather or something. Animals always know something that we don't, so I just want. Anyway. Oh, a candy dispenser. Yes. I've been thinking about. I have a earthquake. Yeah, like they said, the animals always know something. They're always hypersensitive to things that we don't know. So anyway, I stepped outside to put water out because it's a routine I do every day. And you always hear the birds and all the chirping. When I stepped outside, I was like, it's like super duper quiet. That's really, really weird. Yeah, it's super weird. I was like, what's going on? All right, anyway, let's get down to it. So let me record and let's do an intro. Let's make an intro for this because I'm actually I want to make this into a video. And I got my hoodie on because I see like stuff on my hoodie. Get that, what is that? Get that stuff off my hoodie. Oh, it's usually before a bad storm, right? But it's California. Like, how bad can it get? Because I know in the Midwest, we knew exactly what it was. We called it tornado weather. It was tornado when it would get like that, when the birds and animals got quiet. We knew a storm was rolling in. And you're exactly right, Jesse. That's what they used to use back in the Midwest. When the animals were quiet, was a storm was coming. So, All right. All right, guys, I'm going to do my intro here real quick. You ready? Let me do some recording. Start recording. Welcome back, my fellow makers. Back in 1989, I moved out here to California. I met a gentleman named Steve Wang, and we became close friends. We did some low-budget films together called Kung Fu Rascals, and we worked on Tales from the Dark Side of the movie. But he got the gig to direct a movie called The Guyver. So I was, of course, pulled on board, and not only did I get to play some characters, I was in charge of making the Gyver unit. But in the movie, there's some scenes where, spoiler alert, these bad guys fight the Guyver, and it has this thing in his head like a glowing control medal, and the creature Lisker reaches in and pulls it out of his head, and then he dies. Of course, he comes back later. But I not only had to make the unit, I had to make all different variations of some things in the show. And one of my jobs was to make the Gyver unit. So today I was digging through my shop, and I found the control medal from the movie, the actual movie that was shot 34 years ago. I still have it, and so I thought it'd be a nice piece to put on my shelf as a display of something I worked on in my beginning of my career. And I have it, so I got it today, and we're going to do some restoration on it and put it together. While I'm cleaning it up, I'm going to tell you about how I went about making it, and how so many things have changed over the years of how I would approach things. So, but if you guys are ready, let's get started. Restoring this vintage old 34-year-old prop. If you're ready, let's get started. So it's yeah. All right, guys. Let's switch the setup around here so I can see what's going on. Let's move the camera, so I can talk to you guys at the same time. Man, I gotta work on tightening this thing up. It's so yeah. Right, got it. All right. Move the microphone right here in my face. Bring it down a little bit more. All right. Get it, got it good. All right. And overhead, there it is. All right. Let's hit record. All right, there it is. This is the control medal. Now, in the Gyver unit itself, it is it's compressed. Like this ring sits on the outside like this, and it sits inside. And so when you see it all together, it looks like this. There was an illustration from the original artist of the Gyver series, and there's some illustrations of the Gyver unit, what it looked like when it was all separated. And it was very cool. It had this thing was out like this, and it had wires running through it. So I wanted to reproduce that look from the anime because I was really big into keeping things really accurate as much as possible. So when they pulled it out of his head, I wanted to show it segmenting and coming apart and ripping, and so that's what we ended up using. So this is the thing they pulled out of his head. Now it's cast. This is actually an acrylic dome I sanded and got clean and then cast it in resin. And then the segmented part right here is, again, I cast this in clear resin. When I think back about it, I should have cut this and done it with acrylic, because just cutting a circle of acrylic would have been a lot easier and much brighter and clean. But anyway, and then there's a giant hole in here because the light bulb that we used, because they were shooting the movie on film, so we had to have the light read. So I had to give these really bright bulbs. And in the movie, when you see it glowing and pulsing, that wasn't a machine or a chip or a computer. It was me on a Variac. I had the light bulb on a Variac, and I would just control it manually. So every time you saw the helmet or the light pulsing, was me off camera with a Variac and some wires turning the knob. And that's how we did the glowing pulsing thing. Now, when making this, this was all sculpted by hand. I look at this, and I was very new to the industry, so I didn't know about, because what I would do differently now, 34 years later, I would have just taken this to a machine and spun this on a lathe, get a piece of plastic or some Delrin, and took a machine and I just would have milled this all out. But I joke now because that's probably what I'd done maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Now, you could just 3D print stuff. So I would have just talked to somebody, drew up some designs, and had somebody digitally build this in the model and then 3D print it for me. So, but that is it. Now, when it was done, this chrome finish is electroplating. And at the time we were doing this, they were doing T2. So the company that did the electroplating were like really busy and slammed to do this stuff. So they were doing T2 at the time. So they're electroplating stuff for T2, and we were trying to get our stuff in there. And the process apparently was expensive. So we only had the control metal and the hero ones. So when you watch the movie, when Mitsuki Sagawa's holding it, running around with it, it's just spray paint aluminum. It looks like crap. It broke my heart that we couldn't just metalize all of them, but we didn't. We only had so many. So this is plastic, and the same thing. Again, I made this by hand. Like today, you would 3D print it, but I made this by hand and sculpted it and cast it and wet sand. What you do is you sculpt it, make a mold, cast it, sand it, then remold it, and clean it all up. And this was the ring that goes behind it. So today, these are the old ones from the original one I had, and they're just falling apart and they're old. And I think it's like sinew. They're like little. I think it's made for like jewelry, but I think it's like leather or something. But I remember as a kid, I really liked them because they're super thin. So, but we're gonna do this. We're gonna replace them with just electrical wiring. I think this will work fine. So, but I want to cut these guys all at the same length. Which, let me see what this is. Let's go like that. Yeah, let's find out. Yeah, let me get my tape. Let's get a measuring tape. Oh, measuring device here. Hold on. Let's see how long these guys are before I start cutting here real quick. It's rough. Yes, let's make them 4 inches. Yeah, they're close enough. Roughly about 4 inches. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there are 8 of them, right? So we're going to cut these at 8. 8 of them at 4 inches, right? Let's get it right back. There you go. There's 1. Let's catch up with chat. Maybe normal size ice cream. Yeah, it's let's cut this. I do have a Guyver unit in pieces, and I'm gonna try to get some stuff together because that might be a fun restoration video too. But let's get through this guy first, right? Yeah, just I recently when finding this, I posted about it, and people were like, "Hey man, everybody wants to buy it. Can I buy it?" I'm like, "No, it's not for sale, people." I want to keep this stuff. Both things I've made antlers. Yeah, antlers are. We have the antlers made of foam. Oh yeah, from old Halloween stores. Yeah, making foam horns. That was like my first. I did some ram horns I never forget this. My friend, she's like, I want to make these horns. I don't know how I'd go about doing that. So we make some patterns. And so I showed her how to make patterns, and the rest is history. She was quite good at it. Sylvia, I think her name was. Now she's somewhere in Berlin. All right. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold on, guys. I think there's more wires on the back too as well. I gotta figure out what length those are. Because in the movie they just had some things, just wanted to pull them out. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. One more, Ted. And 8. All right. Hey guys, let's go back to over a second. All right, these guys cut to length. There's interesting stories that in the movie there's 2 scenes that this particular helmet, this particular control medal played in was in the scene when they pulled out of his head. But there's a great scene where Kronos, the guys at the lab, grab this and it's growing back. So there's a shot of it on the table, laying like this, and it's growing back. And what that was is the stuff that we were using for the fleshy tissue was it's hot melt. Hot melt is it's like that rubber they use for fishing lures, that little soft like rubber. Screaming Mad George was really into that stuff, and he used it for like things you put on the end of like severed lambs and heads and whatnot. And it just because it looked really good and dangled and tingled. It didn't. It has this like soft, wet flesh look to it. So we use that in the movie. So the shot of it on the tray, it was growing back. So we just did the thing where we'd rub it up. I had some KY jelly, and we'd wet everything up with KY, and we had everything out, and they'd call action. I would just start pulling everything in. So we put out as much as we could, and then there was a hole underneath the table, and I would just reach in there and start pulling stuff out. So it'd pull everything in. So in the movie, when you watch the scene, it's like it's all like it's growing, which is, again, just a good old reverse photography trick that works great. So that's how we did the growing. And it's funny, I'm probably going to go and see if I can find some old rubber fishing lures and do the same thing. And the trick, what it'd do is that George would get the hot melt vinyl, he would melt it and have a pail of water, and he would just pour the hot melt, and as soon as it hit the water, it would cool and it would solidify. But when it would make these little tendrils, and you would just make a bunch of that and loop them together, and it was super cool. So that was what we used for the flesh. So now there's wires. Now here's the thing, I know the length of these guys, but I can't remember what the length for these were in the back, and I think I might because these were 4. I think they were a little bit longer. So let's make them 6 inches. And I think how many? And you can see these little holes here, guys. This, I know for a fact, are not. Yeah, that's not going to fit in there. I'm trying to remember. Did I end up putting a wire on this? I think we did. I think there was wires coming out of here and here. So I think I have this bit here. I might have to go back and drill these guys open just a little bit bigger to get those wires up, because then, yeah, this one's good, and this one here too. Yeah, we drill a little bit more in there. But please, if anybody has any questions, please ask. Anything Guyver related, guys. if there's Guyver fans in here, and you want to know how something was done, or what we did, or how we went about making something, I am definitely here to tell you, because there's some things I remember when it comes to, well, I'll tell you what, with this kind of stuff, I remember. The stuff I worked on, there's a lot of things that were done by other people, but I had a general idea how things were done, so. There you go. Yeah, this is just old resin, this old yellow resin, like Silhouette or Cast Master, or what do they call this stuff? I think it was called Cast Master, and it was yellow, just a yellow looking material. And as a, when I first moved, that's what everybody was using for their garage kits and resins. And in the 90s, all these people had like garage kits, like kits of, you know, people like make fan films. People would make sculptures of creatures and monsters from like licensed properties, but they were such a small deal, nobody would come after them. So they just sell these like garage kits, and they were just, that was the craze, man. Everybody had garage kits. And I remember it was a time where I think back about it, I should have bought some when I had the chance. The good old garage kits. Because there were a lot of them in the 90s. And Steve Wang was really, he did a garage kit of the Gill Man from Monster Squad. And I think he only ran so many of them, and there was like this huge collector's item because Steve did this, sculpted the original suit for the movie, and it made a garage kit of the actual creature. And that was like a big seller. But like Steve said, it was just a bear to cast and to manufacture. So he only ran so many of them because it just became too much work to make them. All right. We're gonna make this cleaned out okay. Oh, really quickly, somebody says, sorry, I got my glasses a little dirty here. The Gyver movie was the first movie that got me interested in props and costumes. Oh, fantastic. I tell you what, if I would understand if I was your age and I saw that movie, I would have lost my mind. Because I loved physical, like I was a kid growing up in the 70s on television, and anything live action, I liked it. Like, more than, like they did, there was a couple shows they were doing, they had Fallout Space Nuts, which was kind of silly, but they had Jason of Star Command. Well, they had Space Academy. First one was Space Academy. Then they had Jason of Star Command, and then they had eventually they made Captain Power. Like anything that was live action oriented for Saturday morning, like guys in costumes and armor, I just lost it. And I think the biggest failure that could have been something great, but they banked so much on the toys, was Captain Power. Captain Power was a TV show marketed to sell toys, and the show would have been cool in itself, but they were really trying to push this interactive like toy that would work. You'd watch the TV show, and then the toy would interact with the TV. So you have to have the, like, apparently like the flashing on the screen would set off the sensors on your toys, and so it was this whole big ad campaign, and they must have sold somebody on it, and it must have worked at one time. But people bought the toys, and they didn't work for shit. Hey, Kev, thank you so much for your donation. Thank you. For the Captain Power show was such a cool concept and great, for a Saturday morning show. They spent some money on it. It was all for this toys, and the toys were just lame. They weren't that great, but I think the shows were better than the toys. But they just, of course, the show bombed. The toys didn't work, and so it's just, they didn't get a second season or anything like that. It's so funny. Me grinding this up, I can smell the resin, the Cast Master. It has a very particular smell to it. Me just drilling into it, I can smell it. Yeah, the R sensors, they didn't work for crap. They were terrible. I remember Captain Power, and it was interested, but it, yeah, something going. It great costumes, great armor. Had friends that worked on it. I had the bad guys, Black Jet from Captain Power, one of the birds, bad guys, but I couldn't find the cockpit. There was one of the Kill Kinsby's coming out. Deathstalker, one of the Kill Kinsby coming out in Deathstalker. I know Deathstalker it's so weird because Deathstalker is a Roger Corman low budget 80s movie, and they made the first one I liked a lot. Second one wasn't as great, but the actor that played Deathstalker was great, and it just was a really funny Roger Corman low budget like medieval like fantasy thing. But quit sniffing it. No, Becky, I'm sniffing. You can just smell when you. Were you one? Oh, Jessica. But yes, I was in Guyver, the first Gyver. I was Striker. I was Striker the Lizard. I was MC Striker. J.J. Walker played the human part, and I turned into the monster, the big lizard. That was me. I played that. I played Ronnie, the gang member, the guy in the alley with the knife and the nunchucks. That was me. That was in the first Gyver, and then second one, I was Sten. I also was Mark Hamill. I was Mark Hamill's monster for when Mark Hamill turns into that giant, like, big crustacean spider thing. Yeah, that was me in that costume. And a sad story behind that costume is that costume is spectacular. It's beautiful, and you barely see it in the movie because we built it. And again, it's just everybody's young, everybody's ambitious, and everybody wanted to do stuff. And I think Steve had Motohata sculpt this thing where it was like I'm inside of it with my arms like this with these things. There's fake arms on my elbows, and there's these giant spider legs, and guys are off camera puppeteering it. Like, we didn't have any time to rehearse it or do anything. And then as soon as we get on set, it's like, oh, we walk around for 2 seconds, and then because there's supposed to be a big fight scene with us, and that's just, we lost the time for that too. So yeah, so it was all this stuff planned, and the suit looks spectacular, and you barely see it. And it's just, and the great Motohata, he's no longer with us. Again, cancer took that guy at a young age, but super talented. And that was his creation. He sculpted and designed that thing. So, what did we decide on? We'll cut these guys at 5. That's right. Let's do 5 inches and these next set of wires. So these are 4. All right, and this is going to be 5. So we'll do 5. Yeah, it's time for a new cutting mat, Ted. I have this mat. It's just been it's so chewed up. It's time for a new one. What was it, 5 or 6? No, it's 4. Let's do 6. That's right. Let's do 6. Yes, I think 6 would be a little bit longer. All right, this 1. Yeah, too. Let's get some scissors. Let's make this happen faster. How many? Oh my God! How many do I have to cut of these guys? I didn't even count. No, that seems like a lot. I don't know if I need all these. Really? There's a lot in here. Let me see. Hold on, guys. Let me just do a quick count. What we got? So we got 1, 2. Here, let's do this. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 16 little holes back here. Hold on. So I gotta cut 16 of these guys. Hold on. 1, 2. I have to buy Terry some electrical wire. I borrowed this from him. So 1, 2, 3. for, something, I think it's gonna be too much. Let's split the difference, because it's just gonna be a big black thing in the back. I think I'm gonna break it up a little bit. It doesn't need to be that many. Hold on. Can't remember if I even did that on the show, how many I did on that, but it was such an interesting time when working on that show, because I went from a place where everybody told me how to, this is how you do this, how you do that, and then when I worked with Steve, these guys who just cut me loose, and I would just do stuff, and it was fun. And then after that, when I started getting into model making, and then working with people, everybody had ways of doing things, micromanaging stuff. But then I got back in the hand prop room, and that's when that came back around again, to where they would just dump all the responsibility on you. Like, here, we need this, and by 5 o'clock, and then walk away. And you're like, oh, okay. All right, here we go. I think this is good. Let's go ahead and start gluing these guys, and we'll set these long ones aside. All right, here we go. Oh, let's get some super glue too. Let's get some zapping. We want to use the slow set stuff? Yes, do that. Let's do that. Here we go. All right, got this. All right. All right, we go ahead and we have the long wires cut for the bottom back here. There's a bunch of holes, but I don't think because I think it's going to be too much. I'm just going to break them up, but we're definitely going to install these guys next. What I did originally was I would glue these guys in and then thread them through. Here, let's show you what I did here real quick. Get a little bit of super glue. I'm just going to dab a little bit on the actual wire itself. Like that, a little dab. Now put that in here. There you go. Tell you what, let me get a cup so we can hold this upright. Hold on, guys. There we go. That helps. Do a little dab of glue on this. There we go. Yeah, thinking about hot melt, I was like, I'll probably just go to a hunting store and buy some fishing lures, but I knew there was you could probably buy that stuff, but I don't need that much of it, so I'll probably just end up buying some fishing lures and melting them down. Because I definitely want the tendrils on this. I think it would be fun to have. Oh, get in there. There you go. Oh, there's a question that said, what do you think the chances are that they would be another attempt to make a Guyver movie? That is a great question. I'll tell you exactly what's happening. The problem is that us fans and people that would love to make it, we know the film would do really well. It's just you've got to try to convince people who don't know the genre and don't get it, to convince them. They'll do it if there's money in it. And money involved, and there is money involved. I mean, they could get money if they made one. It's just they don't get it. So the trick is you got to convince somebody. And I know that Steve Wang, who directed the first one and also designed the suits and things for it, and David Hayter, who played Gyver, Sean in Dark Hero, who now is a successful Hollywood screenwriter. You think, what a great combo. But those guys pitch it to people and they don't get it. Like I know Steve and David were approached at one time. Again, I'm talking very, I know very little. I can tell you what I've heard. and they said they talked to these guys, and these guys were like, "Yeah, we do it. We want to do it all over again. We want to do it fresh. We don't want to do it like." These guys are like, "Oh, we'll just do a reboot." Blah, blah. And Dave and Steve are like, we're trying to. These guys were just like, you realize, is talking to them, they didn't really get it, and David was like, "Look, if you do anything with this series, or reboot anything with Guyver and not have us involved would be a huge mistake, because the fans know who we are, and they know how much we love the IP, and we want to do it. So just doing it without us would be a huge mistake." And so it just, of course, it never came to anything. And I think the longer time passes, the harder it is. But I think that hot melt, just not hot glue. It's coming up. Hot melt is a no. It's you try to actually Google that. It's like, this one we called it in the industry for fishing load. So we called it. George called it that, but I don't know what the real name was. But it's just it's the same rubber for fishing lures is basically what it was. But he called it hot melt. I don't know why. It's like, an anime just opened making. Oh, guys, yeah. Here's a perfect example. K-pop Demon Hunters is a show that I think that Sony had it or something, and they had this show made. The executives saw it and thought it was awful. Didn't want to put the money into distributing it, so they went, screw it. So and they showed Netflix. Netflix said, "Oh yeah, we'll take it." And they sold it to Netflix for $20 million. Netflix took it, showed it, it exploded. It made tons of money, so much that they went ahead and released it theatrically, and had like sing-alongs where you could sing along with it. And they doing it, and now it's the biggest grossing thing they've ever had in years. The K-pop Demon Hunter, which is on my list to watch. I want to watch it. I'm sure it's very fun. So I'm like, these boneheads. This guy over at Sony, who's in charge. Yeah, this is one of many terrible moves this guy's made. But I'm sure, I don't know how these financiers or investors are not firing that guy, because he's done numerous things like this. He's an idiot, and it just goes to show you again, they don't get it. So they had property that would have made them tons of money, and they sold it because they had no faith in it. And then Netflix takes it, shows it, and now they're rolling in it. And it's like they saw it and went, "Oh yeah, we'll take this." Not realizing the rise of anime right now, guys, it's huge. Oh my, sorry, overhead. Let's get some. There we go. Almost there. We got one more. All right. Let that dry for a sec. Anyway, I was just saying, not a fan of Baby Shark. It's annoying. I don't even know Baby Shark, guys. I heard of it. But anyway, dude, I thought Barney was irritating, and Barney was a cash cow. The purple dinosaur was a cash cow. Yeah, anime is huge, guys. They're really, it's taken off. Oh my God, right? Yeah, Blockbuster had a chance to buy. Oh, dude, here's two things. You ready for this? Not only did they had a chance to buy Redbox, Netflix was struggling. Netflix had a little bit of an issue with their financing, and they're like, and they're afraid they're going to go under. So they went to Blockbuster and said, "Look, we'll cut you guys into the deal. We'll do Netflix and Blockbuster combined. We'll put the renting powers together." And but they said there were already 50,000. I'm sorry, like 50,000, not 50, like 50 million maybe, or something in debt. They're like, was it 50,000 or something. I think no, I'm sorry. I think it was like 50. I forgot. It wasn't a lot. It wasn't a lot. It was, but wasn't they could dig themselves out of. Like, but they were like 50 in debt, 50 million in debt or something like that. And Blockbuster's like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And then when they found out how they were in debt, and Blockbuster was like, you know something, we're gonna pass. So Blockbuster said, we're gonna pass on the deal. So Netflix was like, crap. So they went back and said, what are we gonna do? So they just started demonetized and kind of redid the books and thought what they could drop and what they could cut, and they survived it and paid themselves, got themselves out of debt, and then turned around and destroyed them. Came back and bought them, like destroyed them. Like the fact that Blockbuster, and you know what the big thing is? The Blockbuster, the other big beef with Netflix was like, how do you get people on late fees? There is no late fees. That's part of the deal. We eliminated late fees, and Blockbuster's like, well, that's our money. That's a big chunk of our income is late fees. Like, so that was that was their model, and the shareholders were like, they put it to a vote, and the shareholders were like, no, 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 we don't want to lose the late fees. So that greed cost them. And I love it because I hated Blockbuster. People have different relationships with Blockbuster. I know when people in neighborhoods as kids, your local Blockbuster. But my relationship with Blockbuster as a kid growing up, there was a great little guy named Neil that had this like little video store in the shopping mall. And this guy was the one that turned me on to these movies. So I would go to Neil, and Neil would, hey, Ted, I got this movie you really love. And he introduced me to like Luc Besson's first film, like The Last Battle, and like these bizarre genre films and Basket Case, and like all these little independent little films. And that's what he would do. He would go out and get these really independent films on VHS to stock his store. Not have just the standard Blockbuster stuff. Because I grew up in St. Louis, where we didn't get art house films. We were like on the tail end of the universe, so we didn't get anything. So he would get all these really great obscure films I never even knew existed. So I love this guy. And then Blockbuster comes in, literally like an eye shot from his store. You can see Blockbuster, and part of Blockbuster's deal is they told the people who they rented the store from, goes, hey man, we'll renew for another couple of years on this lease, but you can't renew these guys' leases because they're competition. And the guy's like, oh, okay, and which is completely illegal. They could just tell them, screw you guys, and say no and call them on their bluff, because Blockbuster said, well, if you don't renew their lease, we're going to move and go somewhere else, which was bull. They should have said, okay, well, we're gonna rent to them anyway, but they didn't. So what they did was Neil, like Owen went down, he had this going like business sale. I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, they're kicking me out because of Blockbuster. So my favorite video store was taken down by Blockbuster. So, F you Blockbuster, gone. Hated Blockbuster. Also, they were notorious. They always would never have the director's cut. They always wanted R versions or G versions, and so Blockbuster wouldn't carry your movie. Like if you had a movie, a director's cut, and Blockbuster said, oh no, we're not carrying that. It's got too many of this. You have to cut it. So Blockbuster would make studios do edited versions for them, or they wouldn't carry it. That was kind of the pull they had, which is illegal. You can't cut the director's film. It's his film. Oh my God, Hollywood Video was great. Rental from Hunt. Yeah, Hollywood Video, another great. We had one in our neighborhood too. I loved Hollywood Video. They were awesome. Yep. God, I miss them. I miss video stores so bad, guys. Whew. All right, here's the next trick. All right, now these guys are, I think they're dry. Yeah. We're going to feed the wires into them. So this guy, maybe I should have done this first before I glued him in, Ted. Yes, probably would have been easier if I did this first. All right, but anyway, you got it. This goes here. Goes like that. This all got a little too big here. That's all right. Got that. Hold on, one more. That and there we go. Throw them through. Right, there we go. Now, in the concept of it, it's like I didn't glue them. I always kept it free. Wait. Oh yeah, this one broke. Shoot. Yeah, that drill hole, it got too big on me. Let's see, we snap that back in. Let's keep shifting down. Because the one thing about the other wires you used to have were really soft. These are a little bit thick. So, but again, it's mostly for display. A little bit every time, choke it up. Let's bring it a little closer up here. Yeah, I'm realizing why I did this out of a softer. These look more like something softer. The wire's a little on the thick side, but it still works. Okay, got that. And now got these guys, right? Like this. I might have to glue that one in there. Okay, so I got this. Like that. Let's bring this up closer like this, and then tilt this wire out a little bit so it gives a little bit of like. So it can sit more like that. There you go. Let's shift this down a little bit more. Bring these guys up a little bit. There you go, like that. There you go. See, like this, and then it'll sit a little bit off. Yeah, like that. There it goes. That's better. That's how I want it to sit, like this, like that, and then we're gonna glue some more. We're not gonna glue all these guys in here. We're just gonna glue a couple of these long ones here. I'll put a couple here, just all around randomly. Because it's still, I'm going to leave this open, of course, because I'll definitely want to get an LED in there, but let's go ahead and finish doing this. Let's get our cup, and let's go ahead and glue a couple of these guys. Also, too, remember, like, it was just such, it was like an event, and you wanted to get there early because all the good stuff would get picked out, and the video stores caught on to that. So what they would do is they would get like 20 or 30 copies of the latest movie, you know, like when it was hit, it came out, so everybody would have them because they wanted to rent them. And then I myself would go to the video store. If there's something new, if it was gone, I would just go to the older rack and find something old I haven't seen, or would look at the covers, or look at a lot of films I didn't know, what it was. And that's how I discovered this movie called Ginger Snaps. It is literally one of the best original werewolf movies I've ever seen in a long time. Yeah, every time I went to a store, they had a rental. Exactly. Hey, Blockbuster had the director's cut of RoboCop for me. I watched it. OG Guyver anime and was fun. Then tasting came. The bigger section. Nice. Oh, this says he goes. There was they were next. The deals with the town, so no stores owned by actual companies, so the stores could do things differently. Wow. Because I know it's like I don't know how blockbusters work. Like people could own them, and then they could like. I saw a documentary with is this like small town trying to keep their blockbuster, and they're still keeping it running because nobody else like people love it, so they keep it running. Which I think that's called community. If you have a community that wants to save something, or a neighborhood, you get people behind it, you can do it. It's great. That's what I tell people. It's strength in community. Having a caterer, having your neighborhood, having your friends. It's so great to have a community. Community is power, man. You can't say enough about that. Yes, man. Ginger Snap, the very first one that came out. Again, it was at a mom and pop. It was a Korean mom and pop store, up video store, and I saw the cover like, what's this? And again, just rented it. Came home, watched it. This was on DVD, and I was just like, holy crap! I fell in love with it. I was like, this is so good. And then it made its circuit. It got on HBO, and HBO ran it, and people just went nuts for it. And apparently, the guys that made it, and the only reason I know about this, got friends that worked on it. It was Canadian. It was Canadian production, and the Canadian has a thing where they finance. They have a thing where they finance the country. Canada helps finance films. It's kind of a finance program. They made these guys, gave them the money, and it went overseas to Japan, and it just made millions of dollars. Was widely successful. So they came back and said, we would like another one. And they're like, oh shit. So they made a sequel and a prequel. And the prequel is kind of but the sequel, it's great. I think the prequel, they got what they were doing, kind of more of a fantasy, weird, like Alice in Wonderland thing. But the sequel is really good too. So they made 3 of them. Sequel and prequel. Because they got the money to do it. They got all this money, and they're like, they wanted more. So, yeah, huge hit. Joe goes, we don't have an industry for movies with prosthetics or costumes the way they do. It stayed a hobby and will never pay my bills. Yeah, dude, I hear you, brother. It's tough. And Adam goes, he has all 3 Ginger Snap movies. Stefano says, that is so cool, Ted. I did buy both movies on VHS. Used the Gyver movies from Blockbuster. I think it was 94. Yep, there you go. Yes, I heard about some no VHS are being made, which is crazy. I don't know why, but I like Ginger Snaps, where they went back to the 1800s. Yeah, that's the prequel, Neil. It's interesting. Here's the thing. I like it. It's different. In the Ginger Snap franchise, I think it's the weaker of the films, but it is good. I like what they did with it, but maybe it comes back to vinyl. Oh, dude, vinyl is back. People are making vinyl. People are getting turntables. People love vinyl. You ever seen Dog Soldiers? Yeah, I saw it. I saw here's it. I like it. I like the concept of it. I think the film's okay, but the concept's really good. And those guys did it really, really. Oh, Becky's like, oh yeah, Becky, I know that movie. Yeah, it's a good one, Beck. I remember. I am remembering Gyver was the movie made me study practical effects to make costumes, and I still need to make my own Gyver suit. Oh, you need to watch Ginger Snap now. Yeah, Ginger Snap's great, dude. You will not be disappointed. What's so funny? It's dark and funny at the same time. I watched The Conjuring for the first time last week. Now I have to watch it. I have to watch that. You got it. All right. So let's glue these guys in. Wait, quick. I got these in. Overhead. All right. Oh, the funny thing was with the when I had the vinyl. Let's tweak this a little bit better, right? When the vinyl was growing, the tentacles were growing out of the control metal. We just had it. I had this the Guyver unit tilted at an angle, and I drilled a hole in the table and did it through the hole of the table because we couldn't push it through this, but we just gave the illusion that it was coming out of that. You know, so that's one of our tricks that we did. When I was making this for the movie, there was a store called Kitcraft. It was a hobby shop in Studio City, and it was the go-to Hollywood industry. Like everybody who bought things for movies and props and stuff. It was a nice little shop that had all kinds of little things. And sometimes if you needed something really quickly, you could just drive over there and grab it, from brass tubing to wiring, electronics. It was just like, it was a neat little hobby shop. And that's when I realized the end of the time is because it was an institution. It was part of the industry. And then when the industry started drying up, they were the first ones to go. They had to close their shop because they weren't selling enough stuff to keep the doors open. And it was just like, it just broke my heart because I love that place. And it's now gone forever. Just, yeah. Anyway, things change, you know, the good old days, right? But they had really great, like, rare kits. Like, if you were looking for stuff, like rare Japanese kits or garage kits or hard to find kits, those guys, that was the place to have it. They did it. They had all that stuff. All right. A little dab right there. Yeah, just do one more there at the top, and I'll call it quits. Yeah. All right. Get in there. Get in there. There you go. Okay. So once these guys, let them dry a little longer, is that I have, and this is from the original one, had these little beads, little jewel. This, of course, was the kind of stuff I got from the craft store, and that's one thing I know in the Japanese illustration. I had these little medallions on the end of the cable. So that is what I got here. I went out and got some new ones. So I'm going to replace each one with these guys. Granted, they're a little bigger, but they're not like the actual size used before. But this is all I could find, and I think this will work. So do that. Whew. So back when you made mini control medals for the unit and the suits, very curious on, was the industry metal mold or something? Oh no, it's electroplating. Yeah, I'm sorry, Stefano. Before you got here, I was talking about that. We would make things out of cast pieces and resins. The same thing that the guys were doing at Stan Winston's shop for Terminator. Everything was made out of fiberglass, and then they would ship it to this place that would electroplate it. Like there was a technique where they would electrically charge the and they put like this particle stuff in the dust, and it would little metal bits would stick to it, and so it was like electroplating. That's what they called it. And because in this they can do with metal, it's like dipping or chrome, but with the with stuff like fiberglass, stuff called electroplating, which is funny because it was a really expensive process and a pain in the ass to do. And these guys were like the only shop that would do it for miles, and they were slammed. So we were doing Gyver, they were doing T2, and they were like, hey, and they're like, well, we can't really. So they would when they were doing Terminator parts, we were so slammed. Luckily, my parts were so small. They would just lump my parts in with the Terminator stuff. So how I was able to get my parts for the movie because they were doing stuff for T2. So I just called them and begged the guys. And they're like, oh, okay, well, we'll tell you what, we'll plate them, but we'll just throw them into the vat with everything else. So, I mean, they still charge for it, but. Oh, Jesse said, I watched a movie last night called Eli on Netflix. You mean The Book of Eli? The one with Denzel Washington? But what's cool now is that you can do this stuff with paint now. The technology with paint has gotten so much better. The biggest tricky thing was trying to do things chrome. Everybody wanted things chrome, and you had one place that did it, and it's an expensive process, but everybody wanted. But now, with the technology and stuff we have, now you can paint stuff and make it look chrome so easily now. It's so great. So you don't have to wait or hire a big place. You can just make your own stuff. I had this Terminator head I've had for years. I didn't put together because I couldn't figure out how to make it chrome, and now I have it. I just need to put it together and paint it so I can have it because I have an endoskeleton head. It's an old Japanese vinyl kit they put out like when T2 came out. I bought it decades ago. So, all right, let's start doing some beads here. Let me lay this thing down for this. All right, now let's lay this guy down to do the beads. Right, like that. See? Yeah. Look at that. Yeah. So next, I'm going to do some beads. So, do the same thing. Grab one bead at a time. Oh, I have an idea. Hold on. There you go. How about this? So I have to chase them all over the table. A little dab of glue. Pick up my bead. Like that. Yeah, I think the next thing we'll do, guys, we're going to have to rig up an LED for this. My plan is in the movie, we used a circuit board table or something like that. I can't remember. We were just grabbing stuff around the shop that was just junk, but we're trying to make the case. I know Steve said, I want something to look interesting. I want just a flat piece of metal or something. So I think it was a circuit board table in the actual movie that we grabbed out of the shop, and I just threw it under there. But it's cool, and so I would like to. All right, I could probably make something better, but I'm trying to match as much as the aesthetics from the movie as possible. Just don't go too. There you go. The funny thing, speaking of Guyver, there's a young gentlemen. They're in the midst of making a Gyver fan film, and if you guys, I think it's called Gyver Genesis or something. I think it's somewhere out there. If you guys you search for it, you can probably find it. You can donate to it because these guys are just like anybody else. Are getting tired of waiting, so they're going to make their own version. So I think they're going to do theirs based a little bit more accurately to the anime, which is cool. Because when we were working on the live-action movie, I had no idea that there was more than one Gyver. Only to find out that in the movie, the first Gyver movie, they established really in the beginning there's 3 Gyver units. There's not 1, not 2, but 3, and And Sean gets his by accident, right? He finds it. But there's, the whole origin of the Gyvers. Like that. Yeah, I think I got now. I have to make a display case for this because originally in the movie there's like this lab. I think, and again I think there's like it was either an old microwave. I forgot what it was, like an old toaster oven. I think it was an old toaster oven. We turned it into a lab case or something because the show had no money, guys. They had money, but they always put money toward the actors and things like that. So when it came to us building stuff and hodgepodging things, we had to throw it together so quickly. We just had to use stuff we had around, we could get our hands on. Yeah, putting these beads on, it's so cool. It's really pulling it together. Hold on, guys. Something's on my glasses. Yeah, let me clean my glasses real quick here. Where's my glass cleaner? Hold on. Where's my lens cleaner? My lens cleaner. Hold on. Damn it. Hold on, guys. I gotta clean it. Oh, there it is. All right, guys, found it. So I had to find my terry cloth. I'm like, what is it? I keep seeing stuff. It's like a big smear on my glasses. Clean these off really quick so I can see what I'm doing. This looks so awesome. Yeah, I just got to get some LEDs. I had an LED. I need to rig it up to where I can have it on my display, turn it on, and it pulses. Just like that goes, which I'm sure there's something you can buy or have this pre-made. But I just don't know how to wire that crap up. Oh my God, that's so much better. Okay. Got it. That. I tell you, well, it's yeah, that's it. You found it. That's it. Gyver Midnight. Gyver After Midnight or something like that. They hit me up I was just chatting with them, and I really like what they're doing. And the guy who played Crane in Gyver 2 is involved, and so I'm like, you know something? I said, yeah, you guys want some help? Because they're like, oh my God, we love it. So I'm going to help them on it. I'm making, in the original story in the Gyver, there's a guy who steals the Gyver units, in the animated version, and he has this big aluminum case he's running around, and he's got all 3 Gyver units in there, and they're chasing him, and he's trying to deliver them, and they finally catch up with him in the woods. There's a big battle. So I'm going to make that case for them. I just got to, they sent me the file of the unit. I just need to get on the pipe and find somebody locally who could do that for me, so I can get started on the case. All right, hold on. Look at that, and this one keeps popping out. That's right. Let's see. Yeah, let's do this. Got one here. And there it is. My Gyver controlman. I'll tell you. Oh, wait. He doesn't have one. Hold on. I got a little excited. Hold on. I like, now these are wires. I can actually, once we get it where I want, I can bend them and position them, which is kind of nice. Yeah, I might get me a little get a display box, because something like this intricate, I don't want to get dust on it. It'd be a pain in the butt to keep it clean. So I might just want to get like a little acrylic case to put this on. See what I can find online. Probably can just buy a box, right? Fantastic. Hold on, let's position some wire, do a little bending on them, like this. Yeah, let's have them kind of bending downward a little bit, like, so they're not so, yeah, like this. Give a little bit of weight to them, right? Kind of bend them downward. That's it. Like I don't like them popping up when I'm touching the ground like that. Give them some weight, like that. That's it. Yeah, this too. Like that, and like that. Bend this inward a little bit more too, like that. Like that too. Yeah. There she be. This is cool. I think the next thing we're probably going to do is I will do some research and find. I have an LED, because if I do an LED, I would probably do the same thing. I would probably build a base for it, and then have a base with a hole in it, and run the LED up inside through the base into this, so it's all self-contained. Because I'd like to have the LED inside here, and have the inside the case, so the switch on for the light would be on the outside of the case, so you could switch it on. Yeah, and I think, like, if I had some of that tendril, like the hot melt stuff coming through, and like the tendrils coming out and looping through all these wires, it would look super cool too. So yeah, So I will do some research. We'll get some lights. We'll figure out how we're going to do these lights, and we'll also see if I can find some hot melt to do the tendrils for the control metal. That was more fun than I expected. It went really smoothly because I was smart enough to prep. So, Daniel says I am actually making EVA foam for a Viking diorama with miniature. Yeah, the foam is great because you can take a wood burner and you can like make rocks and stones and all kinds of stuff. Vikings. Coffee. Now, this turned out great, guys. I'm really, really happy with it. It looks super cool. That's it. Hey, I just met David Hayter here in Belfast, and I got him to sign my Guyver print you sent me. He was in Belfast? David was? Which print did I send you? That's a great idea, guys. Hold on. Since you're all here, stay right there. Let's do this. Hold on. All right, for everybody showing up today, I appreciate you guys. So I have my dice. I got my dice. I play a game here. We do a little bit of giveaways. Belfast Comic Con. He took a picture and said he'd message you. Oh, I'm pretty sure he did. If you can, he probably did. How long ago was this, Barry? What sort of things would you definitely, if you were asked to make a unit for a movie today? Oh, it's so funny because it's the fan film these guys are doing. They're kind of going back to the original anime. They have they're just doing the coils with the metal plates on it, which I liked. I like their designs. I think Steve he wanted to look more like the biomechanical suit that he was doing. So we changed things a little bit, but because all I do is I did an organic version of the original anime, but the you know, so funny. I would probably just, good God, I hate to say it, I would just have somebody 3D print it, because now you could just it's so you can make it so clean and so precise with a print, and then if you needed something to do something, you can just engineer it, you know. But Belfast Comic Con, oh, it was last week. Oh, okay, then I'll probably talk to him soon, because we usually Dave and I usually talk through email a lot. We either text each other if it's something immediate, or we usually do emails. Oh, Barry, well, cool. Belfast, Barry. So you said there's a print? Did you get a print? Oh, speaking of prints, we're gonna do a. Let me get my. Is that 12? That's 10. Let's get a. Ooh, nice. I got 12-sided dice, guys. I got 12-sided dice. All right. So we'll play a little game here, guys. You guys, people here on stream, thank you for joining me today in my live stream for me restoring my Guyver unit. Guyver control medal. Came out great. We still have a little bit more work to do. Do a little more research on it. I have a 12-sided dice, and I'm giving away some prints of the Gyver poster from the original. Now, this is a print from the Gyver poster we did the very first movie, and on the movie we did this. This was the promotional kit we used to sell the movie. And of course, they bought the movie and changed the cover and stuck Mark Hamill's face on it. They did a horrible job. This is actually the original actor playing Sean in there. And stop it, Becky. So I am going to roll the dice. Thank you, Ted. Super interesting. All right, here we go. I'm going to roll the dice. Ooh. So, you guys, from 1 to 12, to win an 8x10 print, 1 to 12. I'm looking at the number right now. 1 to 12. Becky says 8, 7, 6, 7. From 1 to 12, people. 9. Said stuff was 3. Oh, wait, stop. Justin got it. Justin 7-2 got it with 4. It's 4. It was 4. Boom. Justin, please go to my website, eviltedsmith.com, and hit contacts and email me your address. Your full name, or basically, how about you email me on my Evil Ted site. Go to Evil Ted, hit the contacts, email me there directly, and say, "Hey Ted, I won the Gyver poster," and write down what you want on it, and I will sign it. Oh, and also your address, your mailing address. I need your mailing address, so I'll pack this up and ship it to you. All right. So you got that. Do you have... Oh, man, dude, I want it so bad. He asked me, do you have the rebranded movie of the UK? I've been fighting with... I have friends in London been trying to find that for me. Mutronics. Yeah, I've been trying to find the Mutronic poster forever. I was in Frankfurt? Stuttgart. Was it Stuttgart or Frankfurt? Germany. And it was made... I was in Frankfurt, Germany. I was at a con, Epicon, and a kid found out that I was going to be at this convention, jumped on the bullet train, and he shot from France and showed up with the poster, this giant lobby poster, and it was huge. It was Stryker, like posing like this, and it said Mutronics, and it said like something like not all mutants are created equal or something, but I just wrote "Yeah boys" with a Z on it. Like I didn't know what to write. I was like, what? It was my first like somebody asking me for an autograph. I'm like, okay, so I scribbled my name on it. But yeah, he had it. He had a big poster. I'm like, man, I want one. I was like, it was huge. But yeah, he was a big poster, and I think I still have pictures of it. I still have photos of that somewhere. Hysterical. So cool. All right, let's do another one. Hold on, let's do one more. Let's do another one. Let's do, hold on. Here, let me do, where's Striker? Oh, here you go. Got a Striker poster. Striker. This is from the first one. That's me in the Striker costume. Sculpted by Jim Cagle. I have a VHS of Dark Hero, but I can't find the French version. Yeah, dude, it's like, oh, there's a French. Yeah, I can't. I have a friend who's London who wrote the book called Biomorphs, and he's been looking for me. You can't. It's like it's so hard to get any kind of print or artwork from the Mutronics. I've been desperately wanting to get, because I have Guyver 1 and Guyver 2 post. I have the small ones. I have a medium sized one. I want to get framed. I think I have a Japanese poster of Gyver that needs to be framed still. It's somewhere. It's in a cardboard tube, I think. But I want to get that framed as well, too. The Japanese poster for Gyver. Oh, he signed it to Barry. You can get help, and I'll take care of the bear. Oh, that's right. It's a bear. Who's killing these people? It's a bear. Yeah. Well, you stop recording. Stop recording. Stop recording. There's a Zonoid Gyver on the cover. Oh, okay. Oh, is it? That's cool. So guys, we're gonna roll dice again for the Striker. Striker. If anybody wants a Striker, so we're gonna roll the dice. If anybody wants to get a Striker, autographed Striker poster, I'm gonna roll the dice. Ooh, 1 from 12, people. 1 from 12. Adam says 8. Siphon 9, 5. 12, 7, 6. Jesse's 3. Gundam. Come on, guys. 10. Dynamite! That's right. Come on, guys. Boom, Jesse, get it. Jesse got it. 1. It's 1. It rolled on 1. Jess got it. Jess, how many of you won from me already? Jesse Jones, guys, got it with 1. You've won several things from me, Jesse. It's random, but you do it. You get it. Again, Jesse, please go to my website, eviltedsmith.com. On my contact email, hit me and write to me your address, your mailing address, and what you would like on your... and also let me know it's the Striker one that you want. You got the Striker cover. You got the Striker 8x10. So it goes, next you roll on control metal giveaway. Oh no, that ain't happening. Not after I restored it. Nice try there, Stefano. Nope. Yeah, it looks great. It really does. I'm so glad, dude. I've had this thing for years. I keep thinking, oh, I should restore it. Oh, I should restore it. And I realize when things like this and jobs like this that pop up, it's great to do it on stream. Kind of make an event out of it. Talk about it. Do it. I won 2, and my mom. That's right. You won one for your mom. All right. So tell you what, guys. Let's do 2 more. All right. So we got a Gyver, we got a Striker. Let's do another one. We're mixing it up, people. Next one is Sten from Diver Dark Hero. That's me, Sten. And this is the only decent photograph I have of that costume. You can really see the colors and the vibrance of it. I wish I would have posed like more. It was my camera, and my friend Lisa took a picture of me with my camera, because when you're on the set, it was dark, and even the publicity photos they got of me, they're dark and grainy. Yeah, I wasn't really a thrill. Any of those monster pictures on set weren't great. I want to hit Steve up and ask him if he has any good. So next time I see Steve, I'll say, man, do you have any good resolution, like really good, decent pictures of Sten on set at all? Because every time when I see him, they're so dark. I know there's some ones of Michael and I were together. A guy who played the undercover agent. We were. There's some shots of us. But all right, we're gonna let me roll. Let me roll for Sten real quick here, guys. Gonna roll for Sten. All right. 1 to 12 for the Sten. Sten from Guyver Dark Hero, the only decent shot of this freaking costume. Look at that young body in there. Jeez. Oh, my youth. Whoa. Stop. Stop. Adam got it with 5. It was 5. You got it, Adam. That was quick. Adam, thanks for playing. Hey, again, Adam, go to eviltedsmith.com. Go to my website. Go to my contacts. Email me there directly, and give me your mailing address, your name, and what you want on the 8x10. I will sign it and mail it to you. It's spelled Striker. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Striker. That is it. Striker. All right, let's do one more. Let's do another one. This is fun. It's fun because I just like hanging out with you guys and also being able to do stuff that you can't do. You just can do with people directly. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, I'm gonna do another one here. It's kind of an obscure one, but it's fun. This is Mazzo. That was Mazzo. That's you get a shot of Mazzo. See that picture of the guy? That's what the ones on set. That's what they look like. Like that one of Mazzo there is the only decent shot of him, and I had the shot of me on location in that Mazzo suit, but the lighting was just terrible in that place. Here's what it was. I think the photographer didn't know what he was doing because they're all like, I gotta hit him up. I want to hit Steve up for some better pictures because there's some great. The cave set was great. They built that cave. The cave was amazing. Becky's like, ooh, gross. Yeah, it's creepy. All right, here we go. We're gonna roll the dice for the Mazzo. Again, guys, when you write to me, make sure you tell me what you want and which one you won. So you guys just won the Sten. Make sure you say that on the email. Because I'm old, I forget who won what. So that's why I always tell people to email me. All right, here we go. I'm going to roll for this. This is for the Mazzo. No, roll that again. It's ridiculous. No, roll it again. All right, there you go. It kept playing on the same numbers we already had. That's ridiculous. All right. 1 from 12. From 1 to 12 for the Mazzo 8x10. Sten. Yeah, that's it. Sten. That is correct. For Mazzo. From 1 to 12. 1 to 12. 1 to 12. 1 to 12. Going. Becky goes in with a... Oh, Jesse. Good God. It's 11. Jesus Christ, Jesse. Do we have to write you out? How many times? You've already won. It's ridiculous. It was 11, guys. Jesse got with 11. That is ridiculous. All right, just be sure to, in the email, you add that you won that. We're going to roll again for somebody else because you won that one. Fair and square. So just add the email that you won the Mazo, which I don't know how you spell Mazo. That your guess is as good as mine. But we're going to roll one more time for somebody else because Jesse gets getting here and stealing shit from people. All right, let's do one more. Here's the deal. Here, let me see. Which one do we want to do again, guys? You want to go buy a lottery? Dude, right, Jess? Go buy a lottery ticket right now. Dude, you're on fire. The next roll, you get to pick any one. You get to pick any one you want. So this is going to be for anyone. Out of all this stack, whoever the winner is gets to pick the 8x10 they want. All right? I'm staying out for now. Yeah, Jess, please. We stop entering. All right, here we go. We're going to roll one more time. Here you go. This is for any of the 8x10s I have. Anything from Guyver. You have a choice from any of the Gyver ones. All right, here we go. We're going to roll. All right. Finally, a number I haven't seen before. Got it. All right. Last roll. Last one, guys. What number would you pick, Jess? All right. Let's go, guys. This is the last one. All right. 796. Oh, Gundam. Gundam got it with 8. It's Gundam. You won, Gundam. So, Gundam, you won with number 8. So, you get to pick from the Gyver poster, right? You either have a Gyver poster or you can have, either Mazo, that's Mazo, right? Or you can have, I'm sorry, 15-minute Striker, or you can have Gyver Zonoid, which was me in that suit. For all the dialogue, just the dialogue when they were talking, that was me in the costume. And Sten, or yeah, that was it. The poster, Sten. Yeah, that's it. So Gundam, which one do you would like it to be? Oh, you want Striker? All right, great. So again, please go to my website, click on my email contact, and give me your home address, and write your name on, and remind me which one you want. So you said you'll take the Striker one. Fantastic. Okay, so there it is. So I'll put this in the stack of winners, so I know it's one of these. And please, guys, email me the which one you want and what you want on them, and your address, and I will mail these to you guys. Thank you so much. This was fun, guys. I'm glad I got my Gyver unit. So now I look for some a hunting store so I can find some hot melt. I actually got a Gyver Zonoid from a movie. That's right. Yeah, the Gyver Zonoid was a great. I know originally, because Steve was calling the movie Gyver 2, and the guy that wrote the movie was like, "That's not Gyver 2," and Steve's like, "Yeah, I know, but I want to do something different. I'm making a movie, a live action movie, and I like the Gyver, like the Gyver unit gets on a Gyver Zonoid and turns into a Gyver Zonoid," and the guy's like, I could tell that the guy, he was not digging it. Like, that wasn't his world. Like, he's like, what? That wouldn't happen because of this and this and this. And like, and he's like, yeah, but I want to do this. I don't want to make a remake of the animated version. I want to make a different version. But it's like, oh, Barry goes, oh yeah. Here's the thing. It was just me doing dialogue. I was just Gyver Zonoid for all the acting stuff because all the fighting, like pop, 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 it's like Koichi and the stunt team guys, and Steve and I worked together on so many things, and I worked on Kung Fu Rascals, and I played this creature called the Bamboo Man from Kapow, and like that was very dramatic. And and Steve really liked that performance. He said, "Yeah, I want that guy in that suit. I want you to perform." Because Koichi's great, good, but he's not an actor. I'm like, oh, okay. And I was like, all right. So I did, and I did. It was fun. So it was mostly the stuff toward the end when they're fighting. Not only is that me acting, that's also me getting punched in the head when the Guyver comes up and goes in slow motion, and his metal's cracked, and he punches. That's me getting punched in the head in high speed. I'm like, I'll put that, and Steve goes, all right, now we're going to do this high speed. He's going to hit you in the head. I'm like, wait, what? Well, Steve goes, it's high speed. He goes, if he fakes it, you're going to see it. So I want him to punch you in the head. I'm like, excuse me? So he does. But luckily he's a martial art guy. So he had enough momentum to pop me, but to pull it so I don't take the full inertia. But he was like, pop. So, and of course, and the blood shot out. And then it was me. I started melting, and then it turned into a puppet. But I started melting like So. Oh yeah, Gundam. My goodness, yeah, Gundam. This is me. Dude. This is me, dude. I'm in it. Like I built props, and I played Striker. I played Ronnie, the gang member, and the guy in the alley, the funny guy with the nunchucks and the knife. That's me. I play a couple of cameo monsters. In the first Gyver, like Striker, when I get killed, Striker gets killed or knocked out, and then I play a couple stand-in monsters. But yeah, and then I was Mazo and Sten in Gyver 2. Yeah, I did a lot of monster stuff. Yet in the manga, the Zonoids are trying to equip. We're trying to equip a Gyver unit. Oh yeah, definitely. Please email that to me. I would love it. Barry's like, I didn't know that. Also the kick flips. Yeah, crazy stuff. That guy's amazing stuff. But yeah, that was my contribution. Yeah, I was young and vibrant and jumping around a lot. Man, good old days. But yeah, I did played the creatures, and I had a short monster acting career. But then, because I'm only 5'11", I'm not 6 foot or 6'7". These guys, the big giant guys, always got suits, got suit work and things like that. But it was crazy. Anyway, guys, I want to say, everybody, thank you so much today for hanging out with me and joining me in the raffle and the control medal, which is, there it is. Yeah, it looks great. I'm definitely going to go. I have to start measure the dimensions and get a little display case for this guy, because I'd like to have like a light. We'll definitely get the hot melt, like vinyl rubber stuff on here, and light thing. Control metal. Good times. Oh, Gunny goes, how young were you? Oh, I was 25. I was about 25 years old. I moved out here and was working within that year. It was insane. I was 25 when I did Gyver. 25, it's 30, 34 years ago, man. Acting, genius, thank you. Oh, Becky says, my suit work included dressing up as Barney in 1995 at a costume shop to promote the place. Oh, and Catwoman. We got to do Catwoman as well, Becky. Fantastic. It's funny. I remember as a kid, when Star Wars came out, it was the Wild Wild West, guys. It was the 70s. And so people are like, hey, at the mall, it's going to be Darth Vader and Chewie. And we're just like, what? So of course it was unlicensed. It's the Midwest, and so there are these guys that made a Darth Vader and Chewie outfit, and I got on my bike and I rode up at this mall, and it was so crowded, and God knows what they were charging for things or prints or whatever it was, and who was making the money, but the Darth Vader I could see from a distance, and I'm like, that's not Darth Vader, that's not Chewie. And the Darth Vader helmet was more of the Ralph McQuarrie design from the like all the illustrations of the original Darth Vader. Yeah, because the design was very cool. It was early concept designs of Darth Vader, and it was based on that. And he had and of course they were like big fat guys. There weren't like anybody fit wearing them. These heavy set guys in these costumes behind a table, and it just made me laugh thinking. That were the days where they could do that stuff and nobody was going to come and get them because how would you know? There's no social media. By the time anybody found you, you'd make a ton of cash. So, yeah. So as a kid, my friend and I were like, I was going to stand in line when I saw them. I'm like, that's not them. That's bullshit. But didn't matter. Lines of kids. They didn't know any better. They're just standing in line and they're signing stuff. I think they went out and probably got a bunch of, I think they went out and just got a bunch of movie posters. They just were Darth Vader or Chewbacca, whatever they were writing on there. And they did, yeah, just all kinds of silly stuff like that. But the Wild Wild West, man, the 70s. So yeah, saying that you're Barney, like you could do that back in the day, and nobody, because how are they gonna know? You do stuff like that now, they'll shut you down so fast. It's crazy. All it takes is somebody posting social media or hashtagging you or doing at you, and then the company sees and goes, wait a minute, that's not us. Shut that down. Because they get you, anything you post on the internet, they will get you. That's why I always tell people you write nasty stuff on the internet, being trolls. If they're, if you're doing something really bad, they'll come and get you. So. All right, guys. I am going to take a hot shower because I am freezing my butt off in there right now. So again, everybody, thank you so much. Hopefully, I'm going to be working. I'll be back next Sunday, definitely. It's not that cold. It's cold here, Beck. So, hey, thanks again. I hope you do more. Oh yeah, definitely. I have some Gyver stuff. I have I want to do the Gyver unit. I have the Gyver unit too as well. I just need to put it together and repaint that because I have one. I have a casting from one for years ago. A long time ago, my buddy Tim and I were going to make make kits of the Gyver unit to sell, and then we were in the process of thinking about doing that. And then Steve Wang released his Gyver unit through his company that we could buy it for like $300 and it would glow and make lights. And after Tim and I put all this work into it, and when finally Steve released it, we're like, well, don't want to do that now because he did that and it's his. Yeah, and the thing is, Steve couldn't get the molds. We don't. I think I had some pieces I could have gave him, but we couldn't get the original molds anymore. So I think Steve just did it in ZBrush and re-engineered it, and made it. Oh, I did the prejudging at Salt Lake Fan X, and there was a costume I really wanted you to see, and I can't say that yet. Oh, I did prejudging on the Salt Lake, and there's a costume I really wanted you to see, but I can't say yet. Oh, Becky, can you send me a pic? Just message me. Can you send it to me on my phone? I'd love to see it. If it got you that excited. Oh, you have two of them. You bought them. Yeah, when I remember those came out. There's things that are different that I noticed out of the gate between Dark Hero and the original one. Is that the ring, this ring right here, this ring on the control metal, it sits on the edge of this metal, and in the original Gyver unit, the fingers touch the ring. So it's the ring, it's the control metal with a ring around it and a lip, and the fingers touch the ring. And the reason I remember it because Steve was really obsessive about the fingers touching the ring. and when that's what releases it. The fingers let go of the ring sinks into his body, blah blah blah. But when they designed it, they just had the unit and they didn't have the ring on it. So when I bought it, it showed up. I'm like, where's the ring? So it doesn't have the ring. It has just a black flat space. I was like it just looks like something's missing. But hope to catch you later. I'll leave the country next week. Oh, okay, Neil. I'm meet you. I'm flying to Arkansas. I'll be in SpaCon, guys. I'll be flying to SpaCon next weekend. I'll be there. Nope, I can't. Oh, you can't. Oh, I see what you're saying. So when it's over with, can you show it later? Just no pick. Just no pick. Oh, pick will come in a couple. Okay, got it. I'll wait back. No rush. No rush. I trust you. All right, guys. Thank you so much again for hanging out. Sorry, 10:56, 11 o'clock. We're wrapping it up. Fantastic, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I'll catch you back next time right here on the Evil Ted channel, live.